I don't know if any of you have seen my recent Facebook Lives, but you can do Facebook Lives from your laptop or computer. I've done them. It's not terribly challenging. There's some tech stuff you got to do in the behind the scenes, but there's this cool free software called OBS that I use. It's open source software, and I'm able to do screen sharing live on Facebook Live, and you just create a stream. So it takes a little trial and error, but it's a really, really cool tool if you're trying to teach people things that require your computer, or you just want a better, camera. Like I do it because I'm tired of setting my phone up all the time. My tripod's kind of whack, and I have, everything I kind of set how I want it to look. So I've been defaulting to my
yeah, and if you don't have a good quality video on your phone, doing it this way and getting a really good web camera is probably a really good alternative for you.
And for you DSLR users, I know with my DSLR, I'll be doing it in the future. My Canon has software where I can actually do it right from my computer. So
nice.
Canon however I want, and then a monitor on my monitor.
Okay, you need to show me how to do that so I can do that on my camera.
I can definitely do that.
Cool.
Uh-oh, the natives are getting restless. What's up? I have the door locked. What do you need? Sorry, everybody. It's way past our bedtime.
What was that about avoiding barking dogs? Just kidding.
Yeah, and small children who should have gone to bed hours ago. Solo dad problems. Okay, so it's okay, guys. It's okay.
It's
summer.
summer.
For a while. All right, you just watch some more shows.
School's out.
TV babysitter. So I'm almost done here, so this is perfect. So yeah, allow the cracks to show a little bit. It's okay to have moments like that. That makes you real and relatable. You don't want to be super perfect. Now, if you're gonna make, like I make courses and I make tutorials, those are the things I'm gonna edit those kinds of things out of. I want people to watch this video and not go, oh my gosh, please shut up. Just get to the point. Fast forward, fast forward. Those videos where somebody does a video tutorial on YouTube and it's like, and sorry, I have a cold, and sorry, my room's like a mess, and anyway, we want to get all that stuff out because people came for information. By the same token, having your story, not just mumbling and rambling, but having your story and things like that, those relatable bits, don't edit those out because you don't want to become a commodity. If you're just going to give information, you're a commodity. It's like, oh, I got my information, I don't care about you. Whereas if you put in the relatable content, the relatable stories, the testimonials, those kinds of things, now you're a friend. Now you're a trusted advisor. You're not just content. You're not just a commodity. It says smile. There's a few people in here who do some videos, and they look really genuine and concerned when they do their videos. And how does this look? It looks like I'm grimacing and I'm in pain and I'm wincing. Be careful of that. So be aware of what your face is doing. It's tough to do, but where the practice comes in.
And if you're scared to go to practice on your Facebook page, like Glenn said, by just picking yourself, you can either pick yourself, your friends, or go public. So that means that when people share it, that anybody will be able to watch it. Create a group or an event page that you can go live, do your live videos on, and practice that way first.
Yeah.
Or you can practice in our business page, because starting in July, we're going to be doing another social media challenge. So that will be a good time to practice too.
Great idea.
That will be for the Lavender and Grace Biz team. Sorry, early community. Anyways.
Okay, so that's the presentation that I have for you for today. Oh, actually, I have one more point about this. This is a video. There's a Young Living video I watched recently, but it wasn't a recent video. It was somebody's older video, but they're going through their house and they're going like this. And if you guys have ever seen Cloverfield and couldn't sit through it, you know what I'm talking about.
Gosh, it makes you nauseous when people do that.
Super nauseous. So be mindful of that. It's okay to move around. And it's actually kind of welcome because static videos can become boring. Show a little bit more of your surroundings if you want. Move around a little bit, but don't be constantly moving your phone because you're gonna lose viewers. I immediately stopped watching the video because I couldn't handle it.
Yeah, you have to move your camera slowly
Mm-hmm.
if you want to show scenic views of like, hey, I'm out on the farm today with my friends. Here's the chickens, or whatever. I'm just throwing out an example. show the video moving it slowly.
Yes.
Not like just flying by, because you may think that they can see it the way you can see it, but on video it doesn't look like that. It's like zoom, and then they're like, oh my gosh, it just made me feel sick.
One last little tip. Everybody's, likes to use hashtags, and it's funny to be like, hashtag, mom life is crazy, hashtag, I need another latte, hashtag, oh my gosh, where are my kids? Funny, great. Here's the thing.
100 hashtags.
Yeah, and that's fine, do that, but hashtags can also be a useful tool that nobody is, well, I shouldn't say nobody. There are a few people who are doing this really well. Who just did this the other day, and I was like, yes, that's how you use a hashtag. It might have been Jen Buchholz again. If you want to, we're constantly putting this content out, and it goes there and it lasts a while, maybe it lasts a couple days, a week, and sometimes it pops up again. But like over time, you're making so much content, you may want to be like, oh man, I made this great DIY smoothie recipe. I don't even know where it is. Hashtag the sucker, save the hashtag into a file, a document, put that in a Google Drive somewhere so you can look at all the different types of hashtags you use. I keep a record of hashtags that I apply to my posts. And then there's certain themes that I have. I'm like, I want to, reuse an old post on inspiration. Let's look at all the ones that I hashtagged inspiration. So I'll go in to my Facebook. I'll do a search. You can search my page, or you can search all posts. You can, in the search area where you normally search for a friend or a person or a group, you can search for something in a group, in a page, in somebody's profile as well. And you can go, okay, search for in my page, hashtag inspiration. It'll bring up all of my inspiration posts. So now I can find that one really quickly. It's a really handy tool to have, especially on the oily community and on Lavender Grace, because there's just so much content in there. Mm-hmm. I don't know how many times, people are like, hey, can you send me where was that video you did on blah, blah, blah? And it's hard to find. Scrolling for hours,
Glenn, can you talk a little bit about the spacing between posting on your personal Facebook page, how often you should be really sharing stuff about oils in a non-salesy way, and then how often you should just be sharing your life more so? And because we always talk about how people sign up with you because they like you. They think, oh, Ashley loves oils. I really like Ashley, so therefore and she likes oils, therefore I like oils. We have a lot of awesome people in our group that are really good about, they've created their own brand on their Facebook page, and they market, they share their life and their life stories, and they're relatable to people, but they're not just constantly throwing out Young Living. In fact, they barely ever mention Young Living.
Yeah.
And they're always just sharing like Ashley, I think the perfect example that that I remember, that's a great one to mention, is she posted a photo of herself drinking something and she had funky glasses on.
Yeah, I told her the same thing. I was like, that was a really good post.
Right. Like, I used to drink Diet Coke every single day. Now I don't drink Diet Coke anymore. And here's why. And it was relatable because there's so many people out there that still struggle with drinking Diet Coke. And it was awesome because people can look at that and be like, wow, Ashley Hanley's like this super holistic guru and health advocate. But yet she used to be where I was. I struggle with, and I want to drink Diet Coke every single day. And in fact, I do. You know what I mean? There's somebody out there like that was reading her posts and thinking, whoa, she used to be like me and now she's like this. I want to be more like Ashley. What would you say, how often should people be trickling in their, oily content?
I want to say it's like a 70-30% ratio. So for every out of 10 posts, 7 of them are about you, your life, your musings, links to something that's valuable, and 3 of them will be some things about oils. And you know what? Your promotional oil ones shouldn't be promotional. It shouldn't be there's a sale. Nobody cares, again, about a sale. If you've got people who are already interested in oils, those are the people you'd be like, hey, I know you wanted to get those oils and you're like, oh, I couldn't afford it. Tell them about the sale. The benefit is they're going to save money on their kit. But the people are like, I don't even know why people use oils. Don't tell those people about your sale. They already don't know what oils do. Don't talk about oils. Talk about benefits. Talk about lifestyle changes. Talk about that thing, like what Brittany just said. That's the thing you post about. So, you can sprinkle it in with a personal post where it's like, me and my kids are here and the bugs are crazy. and then you've got, in the picture, your spray that you've made, or, something about that, then you can kind of like, sprinkle those in. But largely you don't want to just post about your oils on your personal page. That's why we get groups. You get a group, people are opted into that group, and they know what it's about, and they know you're going to talk about the oils there or something health related. Maybe you've got a niche, like is that Emily Newell, who's got the animal niche? She knows a lot about
yes,
oils with animals. It's a great niche. That's her story, and that's like her big thing. This is an important thing to think about. You just mentioned it a second ago about, I want to be like Ashley. Yes, to a degree. But as a distributor, you want to be like you.
Right.
We've got Brittany, and a lot of people are like, I want to be like Brittany. I want to do this, that, and anything. You don't have to be like Brittany to excel in this business, because there's so many different personalities. We've got Crystal, we've got Mary, we've got Beth, we've got Brittany, we've got Lori, we've got Ashley. These are all very different types of people. We've got Jen, so like some people are shy, some people are very out in front, some people are very put together. There's all different styles. Figure out who you are when you're doing these things. Try some of the things they do, and see how, put them on, see how they fit, but don't feel like you got to be somebody else.
You want to be you.
Be you.
And be authentic and genuine, because people can smell fake from miles.
Yeah, don't feel like you got to sell the dream when you're not there yet. That's a very dangerous trap to get into.
And it's good to be professional, but don't be afraid to like go on a video and be like, hey guys, I just woke up. Like show the realness. I think so many people will relate way more to that than like the totally put together. And I mean, sometimes I feel like, gosh, Brittany, maybe you should brush your hair once in a while. But I think I'm known for having like literally like the rat's nest head. Like whatever. I don't care. It's like
it's liberating to some people. It's like, oh, I can do this business, and I don't have to be like, because this is an important thing in Young Living. What you see your upline doing, sometimes when you're beginning at a business, you think like, oh, that's what I have to do to be successful. I don't know if I can do that. So just be careful of that. That brings up about a really big point.
Yeah, it's
social
true.
Media strategy. There's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's YouTube, there's blogging. Listen, find something that works for you and stick with that thing and excel at that thing. And for most of us, it has to be where the people are, and Facebook just happens to be it.
Facebook's like number one for sure.
But, Twitter, I would recommend almost nobody use it.
Don't use it based off of principle.
I mean, there's people who are using it like in getting noticed. Lindsay talks about using it. She uses it because she's a different type of marketer. She's a distributor who does this business, but she is also a thought leader who sells a product around learning how to excel in your business. Because of that, she needs to have a Twitter account. It's kind of like the accidental little storm I caused a few weeks back about whether or not you should have a Facebook page when you're first starting out, or a Facebook group. It's because in my world, we use pages because we can, as marketing and thought leaders, people who have a brand that we run ourselves, we can promote and boost posts and pay for promoted ads. You can't really do that. You really probably shouldn't do that with your Young Living business. If there's ways you can do it in Young Living, but I would be cautious about it. Otherwise, it ends up kind of being like an actual pyramid scheme style thing where you're just selling business opportunities, that whole thing. But if you're like promoting a page to get membership into a page, or you're promoting like your group, that's okay. I'm talking about don't use it for promoting selling stuff, selling a product or something. Where was I going with this? Darn it. I had a really good point.
Picking either Facebook,
yes,
Instagram.
In my world, it's pages. In your world, it's groups. So there's a little bit of differentiation. And if you want to know the difference between that's something I don't want to get into tonight. There's a difference.
We'll talk about that on our next call, which is July 10th with Glenn.
Yes, we'll get into that later.
And we'll talk more about branding yourself too.
Yes. Branding, some things about automation, some of the things I kind of talked about at the very beginning that I do, some of the higher level things. So the second one will be like phase 2. Like you've got all this stuff together. Let's talk about what to do next to step it up and what kind of tools you should be using, that kind of stuff. So that'll be less for the beginner. Beginners can definitely and should definitely tune in, just kind of get an idea of like what's the next steps in the game, but should not feel intimidated or pressured in any way to do these kinds of things until they're at that level. Mm-hmm. It's a phrase that my favorite marketing guru says all the time: don't try to be 40 before you're 40. Don't try looking like you're 40 before you're 40. Don't try buying the kind of cars you'd have when you're a 40-year-old. Be yourself, be young, be where you are, and be comfortable being where you are. Do you think I answered that question well enough about frequency of posting?
Yeah, no, I think that's good. And I think you should post often.
Yes, definitely.
Post often, because this is what I see all the time from people is they'll never post anything on their Facebook, like ever on their personal Facebook page. And then all of a sudden there's a sale with Young Living. And what do? They post just the sale. And then they don't even give value to it. They don't share a story. It's just, get your oils kit now. It's on sale. And I'm thinking, most of your friends probably even know what the heck you're talking about, or what the heck that weird little bottles are, or that diffuser is in the picture. Because you haven't educated them. You haven't given them value. You haven't led up to it. You
have to earn their trust. You have to earn their, I'll tell you, this is the strategy. You're going to hear this from people like Bob Heilig. You're going to hear this from all the people who are, they all have the same kind of strategy. Eric Warr, is it War or Worry? I don't know. They're all going to say the same kinds of things. They're all going to tell you, you have to add value and you have to gain trust, things like that. And what they mean by that is, Facebook marketing and online marketing is a long game. When I started Gold Crusher Marketing, I just start up a site and just be like, okay, I'm going to invite all my friends and then, just post. I had to really slowly and deliberately put the kind of messages I wanted on there to be on there. I had to slowly build up my graphics and put things together. And I had to slowly warm up some people. I have friends and I had a network, but I didn't just go for their friends and their network right away. There's a few people that I immediately started talking to kind of build that business, and it took time, and it's still I'm not pushing it really hard right now. I could tomorrow, spend $5 and suddenly get a few more 100 likes, follows, shares, maybe even more than that if I wanted to, but I'm not ready. It's a strategy. I want to have a few systems in place. I want to make sure my website is functioning and show people what I'm capable of, all those kinds of things. And so, I don't want to put the ox before the cart. Is that how the phrase goes? Cart before the ox, whatever. Mm-hmm. I want to be, strategic about these things. Oh, yeah. You have to warm up and get to know people, and slowly, the big thing is add value. What does that mean? You get to know people. You like their posts. You say happy birthday to all the people on your birthday thing reminder. I do that all the time because it changes the algorithm. It changes how frequently you show up for people. Mm-hmm. It's not that you're not being genuine. It's just that you're kind of warming up and, making your audience more receptive to you. It causes Facebook's algorithms to kind of push you into their feed a little bit more so that people will notice you. And that's what you want. You want to share these things with everybody. The thing is, you're not being sleazy if you're using these kinds of tactics. You have a product that can make huge changes in people's lives. You want to help them and add value to their life. So you're not being salesy. You're not being, it's not like, oh, it's all tactics and you're not a genuine real friend or person. These are just things, these are tools to use to help you to get those relationships kind of started. It's just like small talk. People hate small talk, right? I used to hate small talk. I'm like, why can't we just have a real conversation? Because that is really weird. That's why I found out that some people are really comfortable with my ability to just meet somebody and be real deep with them right away. But some people are like, you're a weirdo. You have to do so who do you know here? Oh yeah, I like your shoes. You probably don't even like their shoes. So what? Making them feel good about themselves because you want to find what is our common denominators so that we can start the deep conversation. Some people aren't going to let you in until you give them, well, I like this thing. Oh, I like this thing too. Then it spirals and it builds and you build a bond with a person. That's why small talk is important. Yes, small talk is stupid talk, but it is necessary. And now I've grown to love it. It's just, it's a mindset change.
And people, I don't know if it's something I watched or read, but being a leader that serves is really important. And that comes into how you interact with people and their relationships. And sometimes it's hard for those of us who have loud, crazy personalities to do this because, realizing that small talk is important, but listening and being the person who serves others. And that means, like what Glenn said, giving compliments and really listening to what people are saying, because if you're too busy being the one who's talking all the time, you're not going to hear, you know, what their needs are. And so I feel like that kind of comes into like, and that's the same thing with having ears on Facebook, listening, but not always just like jumping in and being like in a hurry and just kind of like type it out real fast, but, you know, really acknowledging people's concerns and not just giving them a solution. You know you know what I'm talking about, Glenn? Like really engaging, that you're showing that you care first, and then sharing a solution, maybe just private messaging them, sharing a solution versus like just being like, oh, have you tried oils? Blah, 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 blah. And then like just spewing out all this info, because they're just going to glaze right over that.
Or here we go again, this oil person. It's like dating. You can't just be like,
like
hey, nice to meet you, want to make out. Like, it does not work that way, right? You have to have conversation, and you have to do the dance, and you have to court, and you have to get to know the person. And like, yeah, you have to make the relationship and add value with people. Oh, there's something that you just said a second ago that just is really important. Listening. And it's like, yeah, we should listen. No, but really like I take calls with people. Like I've taken a few calls with some of the distributors, and I want to help them. And so some people I've just like I reached out to like Ashley Hanley blindly. I was just like, hey, I offered her some advice, and I said, I know this is kind of weird, you don't know who I am, but I've heard a lot about you from Brittany, and I'd like to be able to help you. And this is a mutually helpful friendship, because I'm helping her with her business. She's helping me actually create awareness about my business. And so in this way, we're able to work together. And I'm not like selling her something right away. She keeps joking, like, at some point, you're just going to invoice me, aren't you? And I'm like, you know, at some point, I am going to send you a proposal, and you're going to hire me to do some stuff. But right now, you know, you're helping me out, I'm helping you out. You know, let's just continue that kind of relationship. You got to listen to what people need, though. And so what I do is when I'm talking to people, when I'm having a phone consultation, I am jotting down and I'm shutting up, which is a tough thing for me. But I got to learn to stop interrupting people and just let them finish their sentence. Because at the end of those sentences, when you think you know what they're going to say, all of a sudden there's this key thing they say. And you write that down and you're like, oh, holy crap. And you can use this in your posts. I mean, some of you already know your market because you are your market, right? You know that you're, you know, you need alternatives to expensive medicine and, you know, chemicals that are not good for your children and things like that. So you kind of already know how you talk about these things. And so you know how that's going to grab people. But like in my market, marketing and consulting, I'm trying to create a bunch of courses and things and consulting services for Young Living distributors. I listen to things people say, and I do really know this market, and I've known it firsthand in my relationship. They say things like Emily, I think, said this. You know, I think it's Emily. My family's like, get off the computer. You know, we were talking about how you're so busy having to, busy having to answer the same questions over and over again. My family's like, get off the computer. I was like, whoa, I'm writing that down, because, you know, in my marketing, I then say, you know, I'm working on solutions that solve this problem and automate some of these things, so they're not doing this. It's like, it's, you know, have you been struggling with blah, 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 and your family is like, hey, get off the computer, you know, during family time. And then you relate with people and they go, oh my gosh, it's like you're reading my mind. And you could say to yourself, oh my gosh, Glenn, that's some, you know, sleazy tactic. It's like, no, it's not a sleazy thing. It's like, I need ways of getting people to understand that I know them and I know and understand their problem, so that I can show them the validity of my solution. You have to listen before you can prescribe. And I don't mean prescribing oils to them.
Which is hilarious, because that's totally not what doctors do.
Exactly. They do not listen. Holy cow. Well, also, be careful with the subscribing thing. Remember, you know, this is a different kind of subscribe. We're talking about prescribing oils. The good idea, the better idea is don't be the expert, but give them a resource guide and let them prescribe for themselves and come up with their own here and say, check that resource guide. So that's a different thing. I'm talking about just solving people's problems in general.
Real quick, before we wrap this up, because we're going way over.
Sorry.
But that's totally fine. It's totally fine. It's good content. Okay, so let's...
You know, while we're doing this, is my screen share still up?
Okay,
if you guys want the notes from tonight and my video guide that I alluded to earlier, you can go to goalcrushermarketing.com, just like it sounds like it'd be spelled, /diamond-rising-guide. And you can see that on my screen right now. That will allow you to enter this form here and get a copy of those things sent directly to your inbox.
Awesome. If you don't have Lindsay Moreno's book, you need to get it. It's this guy right here.
Just don't get too hung up about the time thing she says. She's like, you should be posting at this time and this time.
Oh yeah.
It's a guideline. Don't get too hung up on that.
Don't get hung up on it.
Yes. It's important within reason, but she's wrong about a couple of those times.
Yeah. Okay. Does anybody have questions for Glenn? He's going to be back, right? Yeah, Monday, July 10th, and we're going to do part 2, which is going to be more about branding yourself and a bunch of other stuff. And then he's going to talk about some of the services that he offers to, like branding yourself, website, like Facebook groups. We'll talk about all of that. We're going to talk, what else we're going to talk about, Glenn? Marketing campaigns for emails.
Yep.
Maybe email wording. One
of my favorite things, landing pages.
Yeah, landing pages.
A lot of you have told me, and I've seen this firsthand, Marketing Sense. I hate Marketing Sense, but I do
hate Marketing Sense. Well, not
campaign things. There's ways of making the drip campaign work for you and still have your own website. And best thing is, a lot of you do event marketing, and you get these leads, and you're like, I got to type all these leads in. I think Lori was telling me, like, she has like a pile of leads or something after an event. She just doesn't want to enter them all in. There's a way to have a landing page created for you. I can do this, and I can sync it with your Marketing Sense if you've got one. And what it will do is you hand people your iPad, you hand people your laptop, and you go, oh, you want this, whatever you give away at your events or your classes, or if you just want to get their information, they type their name first and last. You have to have both. And an email, and bam, it goes into whatever email campaign you want to have.
So instead of having them fill out one of those little, like, enter to win this raffle, you just have them do it.
No more scraps of paper in a bowl. No more of that.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
That is. And I have to manually type in every single person in Marketing Sense. That is the number one complaint people have about their business. Second to care calls.
Okay, so somebody on the iPhone, I'm not sure who is on the iPhone. It says, maybe that's Jen. I would love to learn more about comparing MyYL or landing page.
Okay. Yeah, that's me, because I'm like simple and less is more. So like I want to know if they're like the same or different. I have no idea.
It really, I will go into depth about this next week. Let me make a note of this, but it really depends on what your goal is. Everybody's got different goals. I'm working with one of the higher up leaders who wants to do, like, they want to create an entire product of beginning to end, build a business, and be able to do what I'm doing, where you create courses and you sell them and it ties in with your business. Another person I'm going to be working with, she wants to do, she creates a product on an online store, and she wants it to actually tie in with her Young Living business, and she wants it in one place, and she wants to be able to sell from her page and get rid of that online store and start making more of the profits. That's a different kind of goal. Some people want to have, I just want to blog and I want to post content, and then I want to have different opt-ins that feed to my Young Living site. That's a different thing. There's just all kinds of different ways you can do this. And some of you don't know what the possibilities are. And a lot of you are like, oh, I want a website, but do you really know why you want a website is the thing. It's not just a place to put up a bunch of pretty pictures and lots of information about posts. It has to have a specific goal, and the whole design has to be aimed towards that goal. For mine, once it's up and live and running, you'll see it's got my picture. It says, get my free blah, 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 blah. Click here. And then there might be a testimonial about my services, and that is it. You can't navigate to anything except for maybe some information about my services and blog. And what does that blog do? It's doing the same thing, getting you into learning about more of my services, getting you on my email list so that I can talk to you and give you more value and show you more videos and teach you more things. And of course, what's the end goal? To sell you things that I think are going to help you in your business. So yeah, it's to sell you. So these are all different purposes of website. A lot of us, we just throw the kitchen sink into our websites. So Jen asked about MyYL. It doesn't do a whole lot, but what it does is this one function. Number one, it's super stupid easy. It's only 4 steps. You only have like 4 choices of website designs. You can't customize hardly anything, for better or worse. It's great if you're terrible at internet, you can't afford a fancy website, you don't like the Marketing Sense website, and you just want something inexpensive that works to get people to sign up. Like, oh yeah, I'm a distributor. Here, go to MyYL. There's information on the products I like. You can sign up directly on there. Very easy, very simple, very fast. It took me, I have a video on my my YouTube channel.
Yeah, Glenn posted a video all about it on the business.
Show you the whole inside, the whole setup process. I think it's less than 15 minutes to set it up. It's very easy, very basic. But if you're a silver, maybe even an executive, it's probably not the right tool for you. I mean, it might be for a while, but you're going to outgrow it. I guarantee you're going to outgrow it.
Yeah. But once you outgrow it, you'll be a silver with silver paychecks, and so you'll be able to afford to put in some money into branding yourself.
Yeah, I've got a fun marketing story about that for next time.
Nobody else has typed anything else in, but we'll give you one last chance to ask Glenn questions. If not, write them down, post them on Facebook under his link. And you can also save your questions for July 10th, too. Yes. Or you can message Glenn.
True. I'm always available. I love answering questions. I love adding value and getting to know people and learning about their unique issues with their business and answering questions. What's cool is some people will say, hey, Glenn, like, how do I get my unique URL for my Facebook page? Yeah, URL is what we call it. That is nerd speak. And so I was like, hang on, let me make a quick video about it. And so then I have content that I can share with people, and I'm helping somebody else. So we're helping each other out. And also give me ideas for what do I want to create in a product? What do people want to know and learn about? So that when I'm ready to launch my upcoming courses, I know what's going to help people the most.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thanks, Glenn.
You're welcome. It's been my pleasure to do this. This is fun.
Alrighty. I hope everyone has a great night. So have fun doing social media.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.